Hey, welcome back to The Dive. Our guest today is from a Canadian natural resource company engaged in the acquisition, exploration, and development of mineral properties. He will deep dive into the base metals and what he thinks drives its price. He will also give us an update about the company's proceedings, drilling, and geophysical program. He is the CEO and director of Emerita Resources. David Gower is joining us today. But before we bring David on, just a quick reminder to tap that subscribe button for me, please. Hey, David, welcome back to The Dive.
Hi, how are you? And
I'm
thank
doing
you.
good. Yeah, I'm doing good. What about yourself?
Very well, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so let's dive right into it then. Okay, so David, the company announced an update on the Aznalcollar court proceedings. What could you tell us at this point?
Uh, we remain very optimistic about the outcome of the court proceedings at Aznalcollar, and the fact that we have received correspondence from the administrative court indicating that they're planning to rule in the near future is very encouraging because based on all of the advice that we're receiving from counsel, internal and external, there's really only one likely outcome to that ruling. In Spain, the process that we've been most focused on has been the criminal trial related to the corruption charges around Aznalcollar and the public tender. But ultimately, there has to be a ruling by the administrative body to actually award the property. So having the administrative body declaring that they are going to resolve their part of it early, our interpretation is that the criminal courts have provided enough information through their investigations and findings for the administrative court to rule. And certainly, both levels of the appeal courts and the original trial judge have all indicated at one time or the another through this process that the other bid was in fact incomplete and illegal and should have been disqualified. So based on the advice, our expectation is that the outcome will be favorable and we will be awarded the public tender for Aznalcollar in sometime in the near future.
Okay, great. That's what we like to hear. Okay, so David, you recently announced you intersected high grades in 5 drill holes on the IBW project. This includes grades of 3.6% copper, 27.8% zinc, 15.1% lead, 319.3 grams per ton silver, and 0.8 grams per ton gold over 11.1 meters. How do you interpret these results in the context of the overall property?
Well, where those intercepts are occurring is on the Infanta deposit. So IBW, there's actually 3 deposits on it. Infanta is a very high grade deposit, it's the most easterly one to date at least. It's only been drilled to about 100 meters or so. So we're in the process of extending that project down dip as well as along strike we believe it could be up to 1.5 kilometers. Historically, it was only drilled around 400 meters of strike length. So we see a huge potential to really expand the resource and reserve there. And obviously that hole and the other holes that we're drilling are contributing to that. At this point, we have 2 drills operating there. We are stepping out beyond the historical drilling, which we had initially 50 drill holes from work done by Phelps Dodge in the 1980s. And the deposit is continuing. We are seeing in those step out holes very good results, which will be the subject of future press releases.
Very exciting. Okay, so in addition to the diamond drilling, the company also received partial results from its ongoing geophysical program for the IBW project. When do you expect to complete this program?
Yeah, that program has proven to be very successful for us. We're using what I would say is the most recognized geophysical contractor in this part of Spain for these types of deposits. Um, they have identified through the processing of the gravity data another trend which parallels the Infanta and Alcura trend to the north that's not drilled, which is very exciting. And then the EM survey that we have done or partially completed is also identifying targets. The EM system that we're using, that technology can see well beyond 400 meters, actually down to 700 to 800 meters, depending on the configuration. And the important thing about the results we're seeing to date is we can see that both Romanera and Infanta extend well beyond the existing drilling in terms, at least the conductor associated with it. The program was suspended for about a month and a half because of hunting season, of all things. And it's just a little bit dangerous to have crews wandering around the bush right now. So it's hunting season ends around the end of this month, and then the crews will resume that survey and complete it. So.
Perfect. Get back out there. All right. So, David, base metals have recently surged, led by zinc, which spiked to its highest levels since 2007. From a macro standpoint, do you think we could be in the early stages of a commodity supercycle?
Oh, that's a big question, I must say. What I would say is, we have recently gone through, I think, the longest bear market in the history of metals and exchanges. I do track this a little bit, and I think the longest one up until now was between 1924 and 1928. This bear market exceeded it by probably 2 years.
Wow.
So there's been a long period of very low investment in the sector. And I think the outcome that we're seeing, or what we're seeing with metal prices, is in part related to that. It's also obviously related to what's going on in the broader economy and the whole transition of the energy sector. Because to accomplish the stated objectives of almost every country on the planet, or certainly every first world country, it requires an immense amount of these metals. And so I would say the ducks are well lined up for some sort of a very sustained cycle for metals, and that we are just seeing the beginning of it. And there is going to be shortages for sure. We're seeing that already, and that's reflected in the prices.
Okay, so one more thing before we let you go here, David. What major milestones can investors expect to see from Emerita for the remainder of the year?
I think the big catalyst for us, well, we will see, I think, a very significant expansion of the Infanta deposit between now and Christmas. We do also expect to receive the permit to drill the Romanera deposit on IBW very soon. They have all the documentation required. As soon as we have that, we will mobilize 3 more drills to the property, and that's the biggest deposit on the property. So that will generate a lot of news flow, and again, very high grades in places. And of course, the big catalyst that we're anticipating, and hopefully it will be this year, is the resolution of the Aznalcollar project, which is, just an incredible increase in the value of the assets of the company when that takes place. So those are the key things. There will be lots of news flow. We're drilling areas that are well mineralized, and we know it, and shallow drilling also. So it doesn't take us a month to drill a hole. We can pretty well knock a hole off in a few days, as things are. So yeah, we're looking forward to the rest of the year. It's good times.
Great. Yeah,
and we're well
awesome.
financed on top of that. So.
Oh, perfect. You got it. All your ducks in a row. All right. Well, I can't wait to see what the company does next. And it was so nice to talk to you today, David.
Nice to talk to you as well, Cassandra.
To our viewers at home, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow with more awesome content for you. So be sure to hit that notification bell before you go.